G'day guys and welcome back. We are here with Murderbot episode 7. However, unfortunately, I've had a bit of a rough week. This won't be a reaction video, it's just going to be a discussion. I don't actually know how long this video is going to be going for, but unfortunate news this week is that I have lost everything that I've ever recorded for YouTube on the hard drive that I was using. Something happened, still don't know what, but everything is gone. I'm still in the middle of trying to do some data recovery, and I've managed to recover, I want to say, about 70% of stuff. And on top of that, things that I did recover also came back as corrupt, and so no luck with getting those back. But unfortunately, what I've not been able to recover is this episode's reaction, because as luck would freaking have it, I actually recorded the reaction to this Saturday afternoon, and it was literally just after that, and I was loading up my editing software, right, DaVinci's Resolve, that something happened. I'm not sure what, but the program went non-responsive, and then when I tried to reload it, everything was gone. So I've not had a fun time. Like I said, it's everything I've ever recorded for YouTube. We're talking about, I think it's roughly about 1.5 terabytes of stuff that is just gone. We're talking maybe 1,000. No, not even. No, well, not 1,000. That's probably an exaggeration. With the way I've been recording stuff, we're talking maybe 800 plus videos of stuff just gone. So it's not been fun. Like I said, I started that happened Saturday afternoon. It's now Thursday morning, and I've had no luck so far. So I'm just making this quick video. As we all know, episode 8 actually comes out tomorrow. We'll see what happens with that. I shouldn't have any issues recording, but we've also got Squid Game coming back, I believe, tomorrow as well, so I'm gonna have to work around some of that. But I just wanted to get this video out quickly to talk about episode 7. Well, let's just get to it, I guess. What did we start with? We started with I think it was a month before the expedition. We were sitting around a dinner table. We were doing one bitter truth, one sweet truth. You know, the whole positive and negative thing. You say one thing positive, one thing negative, directed towards another member of the group, or just life in general. But we found out Garathan was actually a spy for the Corporation Rim, which kind of blew my mind. We knew that he was part of the Corporation Rim at some point, but we didn't know what happened. But still, up to about a month before, he was a spy for the Corporation Rim. I don't know if he still is. They didn't really go into that at all. Apparently Mensa knew before everyone else did at the dinner table. So that was something. Yeah, he was a spy for that. And then we jumped back into the present, I guess, with the expedition team, and I don't know, it was the same sort of stuff as the last episode, really. I didn't write a whole lot of notes down because I didn't think I'd have this much, but we jumped back into the present. We had just left our habitat and our area of expedition because we were being chased by something. Something was on the way, and it was about, if I remember correctly, it was roughly 500 kilometers away and coming in quick. Someone was on the way, but we left, went to a different area where we came across another centipede thing that looked like it was going to attack them, but then was attracted to the heat of the hopper, and then was joined by another alien type creature. This kind of looked like a squid. It's like a land squid, but it was like half squid, half something else. Like the top half of its body was squid, and then the bottom half had like scales or something, like a very rough, scaly ass, I guess. But yeah, it turns out they just wanted to bang. They laid some eggs, and then we ended up finding out that an advanced sec unit is capable of jamming our sec unit signals when one showed up and started attacking them. Well, attacked our sec unit, but then it was blasting off like blue stuff out of its wrists, and I can't remember. We've seen that before, but I can't remember if they were like stun blasts or something, or at least something like non-lethal, or not. So there was something there that it was trying to maybe at least capture them or something, but I'm not too sure. I'm not too convinced on that one. And then this advanced sec unit made the mistake. He got its arm stuck in a, I don't know, would you call it an egg sack or something? It was just one of the massive things of eggs, or nest of eggs, that was hanging off the hopper. Got its arm stuck in there, blasted its way out, pissed off the centipede, which, again, I don't know if which one was male or female. I don't know. But the centipede came out, took the advanced sec unit apart, and then left again. And that was the end of that fight. But then, like, Garathan passed out after that. And we decided as a group that we're all going back to the habitat to go to the med bay, so to heal Garathan. But our sec unit pointed out the fact that when we go there, we're going to be either surrounded by the enemy, or the enemy's already going to be there by the time they get back. I don't know who the enemy is, whether it's the corporation or a third party. We do know a third party has interests, for sure, with Labibi and everything. A third party was after all the maps, and we know the maps have gaps in them, so we're looking for that information. And I doubt the corporation would be sending Labibi for their own information. So it is one of those things. Is Garathan somehow involved in all of this? Is he faking his little faint spells so they can go back to the habitat and run into the corporation? Is this all part of some plan of his? Or is the corporation rim pissed off that he's not been sending information back to them or something? I don't know. There's a lot of questions, a lot of theories. Yeah, I don't think I'm not remembering anything else about that episode that happened. I'm starting to get the feeling that half-hour episodes are not long enough. I know that's come up in the comment sections before. I've not really defended it, but I'm starting to get the feeling that half-hour episodes are not enough. Because it's very, very quick, and because it's one continuous story, it's starting to grate on me just a little bit. But otherwise, it's a pretty fun show. And we've only got, technically 3 episodes left, I guess. So we've still got a lot of questions, a lot of theories. Hopefully they do get answered along the way. Yeah, and I think I honestly just theorized that, like, there seems to be multiple things happening, and I don't know if it's just one thing. Because, like, the way they've set it out is that this expedition team was on their own, just minding their own business, but then they were attacked by a giant centipede. They found that the maps were missing data. They came across the alien technology thing, and that's when they contacted the Deltfall group, and they ran across this advanced sec unit, Labibi, and everything happening there. So, like, I don't know who's coming for them. When we find out, that's going to answer some questions, I guess. But, yeah, I don't know. Because you got a third party, you've got the corporation. Something blew up the emergency beacon, and I don't know if that was the third party. I don't know if that was the corporation rim. There's a lot going on, and we still don't have any answers, and we're in our third part of the season. So I'm very much looking forward to what the hell happens next. Hopefully we can get all our questions answered. But now I will read some comments that I've gotten from the last episode 6. See what you guys have come up with. And we will start with Melissa Giroux, who says, when Murderbot is running out of lubricant, its language briefly switches to Swedish. Originally, they were going to have it speak gibberish, but then they decided to go with Swedish because Skarsgård, the actor, is Swedish. When he starts speaking Swedish, the language of the orange notifications next to Murderbot's head also changes to Swedish. It's kind of fun to notice things like that. Yeah. It looks Scandinavian to me. I just wasn't sure. I didn't want to make a fool of myself, so I didn't really bring it up. I just said it to switch languages. But it's glad to know it was Swedish. I was definitely in the right region, so that's a plus for me. Normally I'm pretty bad at that sort of thing. So thank you very much for that information. And where do you find this extra bit of information? Is that just on like Apple TV, or maybe it's their YouTube channel? Because you said originally they were going to have it speak gibberish, but how do you know that? That's my question. Where do you find these little bits of information? We can go with Tina Andrews, who says they call that building the habitat. Yeah, it is a habitat. I always just forget that word for some reason. I don't know why. I just forget what it is. Always. I know it's a habitat. I'm probably going to forget about it next episode anyway. But yeah, thank you for that one. I think I've asked this question before, but it's like, why is it that these habitats always look the same in every like sci-fi episode? Is there like a real world explanation for that? Or is it just yeah, let's just go with that because everyone else is doing it. You also say in the book the crew uniforms have sensors to monitor things like heart rate, respiration, galvanic response, etc. to track the crew's condition. Hub system shares that info with the med system, and sec unit can access both. Well, that makes sense. So it's not just the sec unit looking at them and monitoring them. It's the uniforms. Interesting. Because I was also curious about how the advanced sec unit in this episode actually just found them very quickly, more than anything else. And I was like, well, I'm assuming our sec unit's got like a tracking thing in it. So does the hopper, but do the uniforms as well. So they might want to be turning those things off if they can. You know what I mean? Not that it makes any difference now since they're going back to their habitat, but it was just a question that kind of popped into my head. But that's cool. So it's just their uniforms that have everything in it. That makes a lot more sense. Guns of Navarone or Navar 1. I'm not sure about that one. Who says, this is the best show since Raised by Wolves. I've not watched that show, but if I'm remembering correctly, it only had 2-3 seasons. And is this the show that it was... Hold on, let me see if I can kind of explain just from what I know about it. There's 2 robots, yes? And they're on an alien planet, and they have to raise... And they're stuck raising this group of children. Is that the show I'm thinking of? Let me know what y'all rate it, and if you think it's good, it might be a good reaction show in the future, because I've not seen it. We can go with CD May. Sorry, I'm hyperverbal. Oh yeah, okay. I still haven't gotten around to your original comment, man. I do apologize. It's been quite a busy time. Um, you tried to shorten it. You don't have to shorten it. It was just too long to read out for a YouTube video. But let's see what you have to say. Make sure there's no like spoilery stuff, but I don't think there will be. You say technically yes, but no. It actually works with panic attacks in real life. 1107. Okay, I think you're alluding to. I mean, Mensa was having the panic attack, and our sec unit was like keeping her distracted, something like that. It's shock plus joy equals brain reset and no longer thinks there's impending danger. Yep. You're right. Someone distracted, keeping them focused on one thing, can reset the brain. In a sense, like I said, it's really just a distraction. You get them laser focused on something, they're distracted from what's going on the inside. So, similarly with meltdowns or anxiety, I've had to use this often by someone suddenly making a funny, absurd comment, and it's a pretty immediate effect. It doesn't distract you, but it takes you out of the spiral, which it was having before, to calling itself useless. Okay. Which it was having before it called itself useless. Okay. Mine can look like both. Invisible with comments like that, or very obvious. Also, I felt Mensa too, as that's how I feel when people tell me to just breathe. Yes. I mean, someone having a panic attack or anxiety attack, you're just telling them to breathe doesn't work. It actually makes things worse. But if you can keep them distracted and get them talking about something else, getting their mind off of the original thing, then having something saying like just breathe, it can actually kind of help, because then it's no impending doom. They're able to calm down and breathe. You know what I mean? It's not permanent. It went into a repair cubicle that can 3D print back on pieces. Similarly with Garath and the medbay can typically do the same thing. Yeah, I mean, it won't do anything with permanent injuries. I mean, I don't think it can repair, like, if I get my arm cut off, it's not going to repair that. So, nothing, no permanent injuries, no big ones. Yeah, the series is far more focused on the psychological. Yeah, I mean, the physical injuries are pretty few and far between. Most of the injuries have have really happened to our sec unit. So, and he can just 3D print some new stuff. So, yeah, it is more psychological. But again, like, it's just these peaceful, loving people being thrown into very dangerous situations that they have no idea how to handle. And so there's bound to be a lot of stress and anxiety and panic. And as we've seen with Mensa, with her constant panic attacks, she doesn't know what to do, how to handle it. It seems like everyone else is kind of handling it a bit better. But, I mean, Garathan and his emotions aren't exactly compatible. And everyone else, the other three, and they can bang each other, get rid of that stress, be around each other. And Bharadwaj, I think she's still dealing with a lot of PTSD with what happened with her, so we haven't really seen too much of her, to be honest. So I don't know. But thank you for sharing with this. I've never had a panic or anxiety attack, so I can't exactly relate. I've never been on the other side of that, so I don't actually really know what it feels like to have one. But thank you for sharing, and don't apologize for being hyperverbal. You don't have to shorten anything with AI. Like I said, it's just you be you. And sometimes if it's a long comment, I won't be able to get to everything in them. Won't be able to read through everything, but I will get to them in my own time if you want to keep going. Keep telling me things. So thank you very much for that, CD May. And we can end with Tama Lindsay, who says, my guess is that MB dislikes Rogue War Tracker because going by the name is one of those that has Rogue Sec units in it. Yeah, that's what I figure as well. He hates it because of the Rogue stuff. Like, that's it for the comments, guys. Thank you all for sharing all this information with me. I very much appreciate it. Like I've said before, and I'll keep saying, keep the comments coming because it is a way for me to engage with the community a little better. And I do love hearing everybody's thoughts, theories, or like extra tidbits of information about the show in question. So that's awesome. Just try to stay as spoiler free as possible. That's all I ask. But you know what? I think that's pretty much it. I don't have any extra theories. Just to reiterate again, I think I'll say it for a third time. It's either a third party. I mean, the fairly obvious theories are maybe Garathan's involved in this somehow. Who is the third party? I did have a thought that maybe it could be the Preservation Alliance guys, but I don't know. I doubt it. So, it's interesting that the Corporation Rim has corporate spies to spy on their enemies, and to, how do I put it, really? Gather the intel, give it to the boss, and you can kind of keep your enemies or other corporate entities from banding together. Maybe you can undersell them or something, or buy something out from underneath them because of the information you have, and it kind of stops them from, like, I don't know, merging, I guess, like banding together, coming together to topple the monopoly or something like that, or becoming some serious competition in a way. I'm surprised that corporate espionage is a thing. I thought the Bond company and, well, this particular Bond company and the Corporation Rim were kind of one and the same. So maybe it's a third party outside the Corporation Rim. I mean, we know the Preservation Alliance is one thing, but what's another one? We don't have any names, and yeah, I'm assuming we're going to find out eventually. There's only 3 episodes left of this season, so they can't keep that information for too long. But, Garathan's involved somehow, maybe. But yeah, like, that's it, man. I can't wait for these next episodes, man. We get some answers. Hopefully we see more of, I always forget that damn show. Yeah, The Rise and Fall of Sanctuary Moon. It's in my notes somewhere, but I always forget what it is. Yeah, The Rise and Fall of Sanctuary Moon. Hopefully we get more of that. It's always been entertaining when it shows up. But I think that's it for this video, guys. It's actually been a good 26 minutes that I've been talking. Glad to get some theories out there, talking about Lost, reactions, and hopefully moving forward I don't lose any more of my recording stuff. Hopefully everything works out well with that. But thank you all for joining me for this discussion, this review of episode 7 of Murderbot. Join me next time for episode 8. But in the meantime, as usual, if you all enjoy this video and want to see more, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and of course, join me next time. And I'll see you there. Bye, guys.